Hey guys, Paul Lynn here, talking to you today a little bit more about PLC, okay? And here we are. You've learned PLC, you've practiced, you've mastered it. You went through all of my career videos. They helped you out. They taught you how to negotiate salary. They taught you how to interview. You got in there, blew everybody's skirts up when you went to interview. Of course, they hired you right there on the spot, threw money at you, and now you've got that job that a year before you were only dreaming about. And now you're like, man, Paul, thanks. I've made it. Look at me now. I'm a PLC programmer. I'm making $70,000, $80,000 a year, living high on the hog, but it's not enough. I want more money. Right now, I can probably retire when I'm 65, but I'd rather retire when I'm, I don't know, 35, right? I want to get out of the game and start playing. How can I get rich programming PLCs? Can I take this knowledge that's paying me $80,000 today, and can I turn it into something and do something with it that's going to be paying me $800,000 next year? And the answer is yes. You absolutely can leverage your PLC skills and make a hell of a lot more money than you are today, right now, as a PLC programmer employed full-time at Company X. So how do you do that? And here are some strategies to go about leveraging what you've got and turning it into more money. The first and most obvious strategy is go solo and become a contractor, right? Now, just because you're a contractor instead of an employee, does that make you instantly rich? No. Does that make your income go up a little bit? Yeah, if you play it right, usually it does, because now this company isn't paying you benefits. They're not giving you all this insurance and retirement and 401k and vacation days and all this stuff. So in lieu of all of those benefits, now you can just negotiate for cold hard cash, right? And when you're young and healthy, like I used to be, I'm still healthy, but I'm not young anymore. When you're still young and healthy, maybe you're not too worried about 401ks because retirement's 50 years off if you're lucky the way things are going. And, insurance, I can be paying $300, $500 a month for some insurance, and I haven't been sick in my entire life. I mean, you never know what could happen, but at the same time, paying hundreds of dollars a month for insurance, you do know what's going to happen. You ain't making no money. So if you want to go without some of those benefits, you can get cash instead as a contractor. But really, going contract is really just the first step. Because now that you're solo, now that you're on your own, now that you're not owned by this company as an employee, you're free to stretch your wings, get out there, and take on more work. As a contractor working for one company, you can still work for another company and another company and another company. And now you're leveraging your skill, not just your time. That's an important distinction when you're trying to make money. When you're an employee, you're really just getting paid for your ass being in a chair for a set number of hours. It doesn't matter if you're good, if you're bad, if you're fast, if you're slow. This company's never going to say, "Oh, Paul, well done, our good and faithful programmer. Because you program so fast and because you've learned so much, we're now going to triple your salary." No. The way they see it is, if you are willing to come to work for us for $50,000, then we're never going to pay you much more than $50,000. We're going to give you a raise once a year, and if you're lucky, that raise will keep up with inflation. Maybe 3%, 7%, little bones like that are never going to make you anything, high earning, right? So as an employee, you're just getting paid for having your butt in the chair for a certain amount of hours. It's terrible. As a contractor, now the better program you are, the better you are at developing this stuff and making it error-free and getting it done quickly, the more profitable you are, the more work you can take on in the same amount of time. So if right now you're doing your job, dragging your ass at your company, and you're saying, man, really, if I set my mind to it, I could be doing 4 times as much work and get it done in the same amount of time. I tell you what, as a contractor, you can take on 4 times as much work and get 5 times as much money because you're not sucking down benefits. You're getting paid cash. So going contractor, working independently, not as a contractor in the office, but a contractor in your own office, i.e. your living room while you're watching TV. Yes, you can make a ton more money. But from there, what's the next step? You've got money, you're making more money. How can you make even more money? Now that you're a contractor and you're making more and you're doing more work, you're going to get to a point where you're still kind of just selling your time for money, right? It's still a function on time. You only have so many hours in the day, so you can't take on more work than full capacity for you. At this point in time, now's when you start your company. Now's when you hire that other person. You don't get greedy. You don't say, dude, I'm making $200,000 a year all by myself. I've got money in the bank. I'm going to start my company and I'm going to hire 5 people right away. Those 5 people are going to bankrupt you. You're growing too fast. You're being too aggressive. You can't train 5 people at the same time and keep doing your work. Your service is going to slip. Your time's going to slip. Your quality is going to slip. These people are going to bankrupt you if you do that. So don't get aggressive trying to start your own company. You're going to lose money trying to start it up aggressively. So instead, you maybe get a little small office somewhere and you hire 1 person, not 2 or 3 or 4, but 1 person. And you hire someone with some skills, obviously. Pay that person, something that's worth their time. Obviously, you're still profiting from their time. And you work with them, you train them, you review their work. Don't try to train somebody from scratch. But at the same time, if you hire somebody that's been doing this job for 20 years and then tell them to do things a different way, that might be challenging. Many people, not everybody, but many people, once they've been doing something for so long, they find it very hard to change. Then there are people like myself that I can be doing something for 20 years, and the second I see a better way, I will abandon what I've been doing and jump on this new technique or new strategy. So it's really just a matter of interviewing those people, feeling them out, figuring out how adaptable they are, how willing they are to conform to your business model, and how hungry they are, and getting that person in the door. But yeah, now you've hired 1 more person. 1 + 1 does not equal 2. For the first 6 months to a year, 1 + 1 is going to equal about 1.3. Okay? So adding this second person is not going to double your workload, but maybe by the end of a year, maybe you'll be able to take on 30 to 50% more work because this person's still not going to be up to your speed and up to your level. And now there's going to have to be some management, some interaction, some quality control. You're going to have to be doing more communication back and forth between more customers. So, don't expect 1 + 1 to equal 2. Expect that first employee to add 30 to 50% to your capacity, and that's probably at the end of a year, okay? But from there, you keep growing one person at a time, getting that person up to speed properly, not getting greedy, not getting stupid. Think about it in percentages, right? Your first addition of an employee, you just added on 100% to your workforce. Yikes. Don't ever do that again. The next time you add a person, you just added 50% to your workforce. That's still a big compromise, and it's going to impact you, and it's going to drag you down in the beginning. Don't do that again. Every time you grow, you need to grow by a smaller and smaller percentage, okay? You don't go from adding a person means 12% growth to now I'm going to add 3 people the next time all at once. Don't get greedy. Don't try to grow too fast, but do keep growing. And there's no reason you can't have an automation company that is located in Topeka, Kansas, but is servicing clients from coast to coast. Remember what year it is, folks. We have the internet now. We can work remotely. Hell, for the first 4 years that I lived in Bolivia, which is where I live now, I was doing PLC work for people in the United States. Check your map and you'll see that that's on a different damn continent, okay? That's a different hemisphere on this planet, right? So if I could do that years ago, imagine what you could do a few years from now, when you've actually got a base of operations and a handful of employees. Could you be servicing PLC work all over the world? I don't see why not. So you want to get rich with PLC, that's a big old way to do it. Next option, one other thing to consider, and that is, look what I'm doing right now. I am teaching PLC, right? Now, am I trying to tell everybody to go out and compete with me and, also be PLC instructors? Well, yeah, sure. Why not? Because it's a big old world out there, and there are a whole lot of students, and there are enough people wanting to learn this that sure, the market can certainly support a few more instructors. We're all going to have food to eat. So if you start teaching this too, I won't feel threatened by that. On the contrary, good. That means it's going to be easier for people to find an instructor that they really like and can connect with and understand. So yeah. Teach PLC in a different language, teach PLC in person in your local community, teach PLC online, write books teaching people how to program PLCs. Some people are much happier learning by reading than watching my stupid videos, okay? So there are lots of ways that you can take your knowledge and leverage it and turn it into money that does not depend on how many hours there are in the day, right? If you're selling your time, no matter how much you raise the price, there's really always going to be a limit to how much money you can make selling your time. So, hey, become a contractor, an independent guy, instead of working as an employee. One quick trip to make more money programming PLCs. Get out there, and once you're contracting, start growing into a company and start your own automation company. I tell you what, that's the best, largest, fastest way to really turn PLC programming into millions of dollars. And third, teach this stuff. I've been teaching it for years and years now, and made a ton of money doing it. And my courses are the cheapest courses there are. So if I'm selling the cheapest courses there are and making a ton of money, who knows what you're capable of? That's all I'm saying. So hopefully that gives you some ideas and gives you some direction where you might want to go with your career. As always, Paul Lynn is here to make life easier for you and put money in your pocket because I like money. And if you like the fact that I'm doing this and you think that all of this is going to help you, hey, I got an idea. Check this out for Inspired. Subscribe to my channel. Get some more of this good stuff. Get even richer, right? No reason not to. Thank you so much for sticking with me today and watching this video. Thank you for trusting me to give you some good ideas and some good advice and to help you along your way. I do appreciate that trust. Sincerely do. Thanks again. You have a fantastic day.